How's it going, guys? Welcome. Home of the Hobby, Season 1, Episode 8. I'm here with Alex Tressler. He came all the way down to kick it with us in Miami. Big Dolphin fan, big collector. Has been in this space for a long time. Has seen the space change a lot in the last, 20 years. And I just want him to come in and share some of his stories and stuff like that. And he's a close friend of ours. Super happy to have you here, man.
Coming down for a cruise.
Nice.
And, and I reached out. I was just like, yo, I'm going to stop by, because we talked ahead of time. I was just like, I want to come through. And, I'm all about showcasing and showing like the good parts of the hobby. Everyone wants to talk about the bad parts. Everyone wants, but no one really captures like the good stuff, like the inner workings of some of the hardworking individuals like your whole team is doing. So being able to be here all day, walking around, talking to people, doing some fun stuff with them and everything, it's been a blast.
The content's been great. I love having you down here. I love having as many like close friends of ours to be down here. The hobby has a lot of different parts to it. It's not just the manufacturers. It's not just the breakers. It's not just the content creators. It's all of us. So being able to work together is a blessing. The videos you guys did were like bananas. They were super duper funny. I love it.
What's up?
I might need your help, man. My guys need them to have some hobby discipline.
I think I can help you with that. How soon do you need this done?
Right away.
We need you to sleep faster. So we got to get these cards out. Did I see a laugh? This isn't funny. Drop down. What are we waiting for? There we go.
Boxes of blasters here on the table. Let's roll.
This is taking too long. Like, what's happening here?
Gotta do my best at this point, you know what I mean?
How much are these spots going for? We
Yeah.
need at least 10 push-ups from you right now. We got to get these bids up. We got to make sure the chat is getting the bids up to where it needs to be.
This is going to be the room that we need the most help with.
Gotcha. Right? What are you doing over here? Like, you just sit here. Come with me. Come on. Over there you go. There you go. You got to know the product. You got to know what's happening in the chat.
Having Army here has just made my day so much easier. I'm gonna have to do it.
What, the boss? You can just take the day off? You're running this operation here. You want me to come in and discipline them? What about you? Okay, I see what it is.
We do definitely need some boot camp around here, so I'm a full supporter and believer in that. He gave us some really good gifts that we're super grateful for as well, so that means a lot to us. And ultimately, my goal for this episode is to show people or have them hear and listen, and we can, pull up some clips for them of just how breaking was back in the day, what you were doing.
Completely different than what it is today.
I can only imagine.
That's for sure. I've seen evolution, coming back into this industry as an adult again, because of course, majority of people, they did it when they were a kid. And I will start there. I did it with my dad, my dad and my brother, myself. We were searching for those no-name Frank Thomas rookies and stuff like that, right? But there was some point, when I became a teenager, it just cut off. It's blank, don't remember anything. I'm pretty sure Will Smith came into my life, zapped me like Men in Black style. That's why I don't remember anything. But I'm pretty sure it's called puberty, and I found out that there's girls. And,
I was gonna say, yeah,
kind of got away from. Well, back then, right? Not today. Yeah. Today's society, kids from all ages. Through their teenage years.
Yeah, through social media and everything else, everything's changed drastically, right?
Yeah. So got back into it as an adult around 2007. I saw someone ripping a box of cards with their son, and they hit an auto.
Where was that?
It was at work. I was stationed in Fort Bragg, North Carolina at the time, and we just came back from a deployment. And there was this so when you come back from a deployment in the military, senior leaders want you to do as much with your family as possible, right? I've been gone for a year. You're gone for your family for a year. So they're we need you to be around them as much as possible. So we do have to work during the week. So hey, during the summertime, bring your kids in to work with you, and everything else. So, it was a slower day. We're waiting for equipment to come back or something like that from overseas. And someone bought a box of cards, came in, they were ripping it. I was I remember doing that with my dad. I seriously do. Then they pulled an autograph of someone. I can't remember who it was. I'm I don't remember that being in PAX though, which went down the rabbit hole. Most people today, you'll go down the rabbit hole of YouTube or, Instagram Reels or wherever. I went out in a rabbit hole just searching. I'm just let me find out all these cards, and found out the whole industry is out there is crazy.
Yeah.
Because back in, the early 2000s to the 2010 time frame, whatever, is when more of those products National Treasures, Triple Thread started coming.
Of course. I mean, that was the
right?
like Upper Deck SPX, SP Authentic, all that stuff. Had all those autos, on-card autos.
So I went down the rabbit hole, found Cards Infinity, Chris Justice, who, if anyone knows, he is literally the pioneer of putting your hands behind a camera, in front of a camera, and ripping packs.
It's amazing.
He is the one that started it mainly on YouTube and did it all through till a couple years ago when he finally retired. But like everyone, your breaking company, everything else, like contribute to. He's the one who did it first.
And where did he do it on?
He did it on YouTube.
YouTube, got it.
YouTube.
Was that before Breakers TV?
It was before Blog TV, before Breakers TV, before all that stuff. And you would make a purchase on his website, and it wasn't live at first.
Yeah,
purchase on the website, and he'd break it and then record a nice little clip saying this is Alex's, 2006, 2006, National Treasures box breaking, and he's ripping it right there.
That's the personals, and then obviously the group breaks.
Yep, same thing.
And stuff is a lot cheaper back then.
Oh yeah, it's a lot cheaper. Well, yeah, it was. And on top of that, you got to think like the space today has so much online presence than it was back then. The product was being distributed to all the hobby shops.
Correct.
Right. There was
no breakers. Yeah,
there was no breakers. Now, yeah, there were still distributors like Blowout and DA. All of them were still around.
Yeah.
But you don't have these breakers and all these companies getting hundreds or how many cases they're getting of a product, because now it's going out to all the hobby shops.
Of course.
And and over time, that's just completely changed, which it sucks.
The hobby shop is such an important aspect to this business, and people still go into hobby shops and people still buy cards from hobby shops, but the majority of the velocity is through breaking. So, of course, and listen, forever the distributors were printing money by being able to get it from the manufacturers and sell directly to the breakers. Yeah. But manufacturers like Topps realized, wait, the distributors are literally getting it for a day and selling it to the breakers. Why are they making so much money on this? Let me get it to the breakers. So yeah, I remember those days, 2019 days, 2020 days.
And you always have breakers get a bad rap. They do, right? Yeah, because you always see the comments. You see the comments of, all the good hits are going to breakers, everything else and stuff. And even the concept, people not knowing what Breakers Delight is, thinking it's a breakers only product, not knowing you can go online and buy it yourself if you want it. It's just a delight because there's not a whole bunch of base. It's easier for you to rip.
And it's easier for the shippers and everything else.
So what the whole bad rap about that, which I hate, is the whole ecosystem of this industry. That is just part of it now. It's evolved into what it is. Anyone out there that, says that, but goes about buying singles everywhere, guess what? Those singles, a lot of them probably won't be on the market if the breakers aren't opening the product and getting it out to the
and the demand would be completely different. Yeah. Listen, ultimately, any success, you're going to get hate towards. And the reason why the hate is there is, of course, it is more expensive to buy a box. So, but that's just the nature of the game. And, live breaking has added so much value to this business. The marketing, the content, all these amazing companies are doing such awesome things. Even in Florida, you have Backyard Bleacher, all the biggest companies are here.
There's pockets of the breakers. You got the Florida pocket, you got the Jersey pocket, you got the Vegas pocket, you got the LA pocket. It's wild.
No, it is crazy. It is crazy. There's always an ecosystem there.
But what you're talking about is the reason why I did start it. I started doing, my first doing group breaks in 2008 on YouTube. We were at cost breaks, because even back then, the exquisite box that I pulled the dual LOGOMAN from, right? It literally was a $400 box, and you got to think that's 17 years ago. $400 is still a lot of money today, but back then it's even more.
Yeah.
So you had the collectors that we just wanted a piece of the pie. So the whole group break concept is always you're going to get one team for a cheap amount and be able to get into a bigger product. So that's what we started doing. We started making a video, made one. It was like a series of 5 videos before you saw anything broken.
Yeah.
Right. I'd make a video and be like, hey, this is the products I'm going to do. I'm going to get it from Blowout. I need y'all to pay me first, but then I can order the stuff. So, people would sign up in the comments on the first video. The next one would be like, all right, it's fully paid. It's ordered. All right. Next up is the random.org. So you'd have another video of me doing random. And again, back then there was a lot more trustworthy because it was not live.
Yes.
Right. And a lot of people don't know this. Random.org has a verified randomizer because of some problems that happened. Someone was able to clone Random.org and
I believe that.
and actually rig randoms and razzes and everything else for people. So, once people
Those days are gone.
once people found that out, Random.org is like, okay, we'll make a paid service for you to use it. And then you get the little confirmation code. This is legit. So you'd have that video come up, then you'd wait. And I'm like, okay, then I make a video. The product came in. Next video you're going to see is going to be the break. And then
This is
be the break.
evolution of live breaking.
Right.
Shout out to Whatnot for making it so much simpler for the
Right.
consumers. Right?
Yeah. So, and again,
Yeah, for the break.
and when we talk about the evolution, so then we had Blog TV, Breakers TV, right? Those were live. They get platforms for us to come on and actually break live for the consumers, but it still wasn't like it is today, where you weren't able to push the button right there on those apps,
Yeah.
right? You were still going somewhere else, buying it, or having that person give you their PayPal, and then you'd send them the money, and then that's a whole nother problem.
Yeah. There was just a lot of trust that.
There was. Well, no, there's also the fact that I don't know if a lot of people know that around 2012 timeframe, a lot of people's accounts, like PayPal accounts, were getting shut down for gamble because they would consider it gambling via putting the money in for group breaks, razzes, and everything. So someone wouldn't hit. They'd email PayPal and be like, this person's doing illegal gambling
Of
aspect
course.
for group breaks, and you had people's accounts getting shut down with hundreds of thousands of dollars in it.
Yeah.
Right, and everything.
That happened to me when I had a sneaker store. I had an account shut down with like 200K, no gambling, no res, nothing. Can you tell us about some of the cards that you pulled?
So, of course, the main one a lot of people have seen because it gets re-brought out like once a quarter from Collect or a PSA or just random accounts. Like I'll be scrolling TikTok and just all of a sudden be like, "That's me."
That's
And
awesome.
then I go in the comment section because they don't quote me at all. They don't even say it's me. I'm just like, "Hey, that was me 17 years ago." So, dual LOGOMAN, John Stockton, and Steve Nash from Durant's rookie year exquisite,
2007.
2007, 2008.
How much was the box? You remember?
I think it's about $450.
$50.
Yeah. So that group break that I did was my first ever basketball group break, and it was a mixture of like 5 products, like a box of each or whatever. And I actually outsourced it from like 3 different locations to get the boxes because I had like an old school like SP Threads, that box. I probably had a Chrome box. I probably had some of everything. And I wanted one big one, and I wanted an exquisite box. Blowout was already sold out. So I was North Carolina. Stuff coming from Blowout got there in a few days. So I messaged Chris Justice down at the Hobby Box, who was down, Cards Infinity, who was down in Wilmington, North Carolina, an hour from me.
Wow.
And he was just like, "Yeah, I got a case. I'll give you a box." So I drove an hour, picked it up, and brought it back. Little did I know that box had a dual LOGOMAN of John Stockton and Steve Nash. Now, I've already done multiple football breaks. I've done a couple baseball breaks and stuff. So a lot of the people that were getting into these breaks, we're a community, a tight-knit community. Ryan Bannister is one of them. He was from the beginning, like he's probably in this industry the longest running person I know as an adult, and they'll tell you like RBI Crew 7 is because he was watching my stuff back in the day.
That's crazy. I love Ryan.
when him and Neil
saw him at National.
Yeah, when him and Neil told me that at one of their dinners at the National, I was just like, nah, it's not because of me. You guys have done so much things. They're like, yeah, we had the inspiration because what we saw you doing online. So it was really cool to hear that. And
Incredible.
So all of the same people were getting in the same breaks over and over again.
Yeah.
It's like a good 30 to 40, 50 people just, you're getting your team, right? And at the same time frame, kind of frowned upon. I'm a breaker. I want to get into this team, into this product too. So, we were getting into them too. And, you have the trust issue there and stuff.
The thing is, like now at $1, you can't. But like when everything was by now, it's super fair game. Like,
Yeah. And a lot of
it
times,
depends on how it's priced out and all that other stuff. But like
today's society, you do see like if a product's sitting there, if a team's sitting there, waiting, not the randoms, but PYTs and stuff, you'll see people. I'm like, I'm going to take it. It's been sitting there for hours.
If it hits, it hits though.
Yeah, I can't believe no one's. I've for the longest time wanted to copyright that. It sits, it hits.
So obviously you hit that Steve Nash,
John
Stockton dual LOGOMAN crazy card, 6-figure card. Now, what happens with that card? Like, did they split it?
No, so
Two different teams.
This is just the story for that one card is just wild. So everyone in the breaks just like, hey, rip it in uniform for once. Like that was the first time first and last that I ever did put everything that I had on in the house. You know, I was just like, screw it, this is going to be nothing or whatever. And of course that card comes out and it's the one that's replayed over and over and over again, right? The guy who had the Jazz actually sent in his payment via check through the mail and hasn't came in yet. So I had to wait to post the video until it came in.
Yeah.
Because he then told me he only had enough money for one team, not two. So I had to eat whatever team that he didn't pick. So me already knowing the break has already happened, I know it has came out. All I asked him was like, which team do you want?
Yeah.
And I think he had the Bulls and the Jazz. And of course he picked the Bulls.
You got to keep the Bulls.
Right. So of course I had the Stockton. So that means I had half the card. So me and the guy that had the Suns and myself, we split. We sold it on eBay. And
Yeah.
split it away.
Okay. And what did that sell for?
I think it was like $3,000.
That's crazy. So that card sold for $3,000.
And now I know where it's at.
Really?
You know Kimmy NG?
Uh-huh.
It's in his collection.
Wow.
So a lot of these cards.
And what did it grade? Is it graded?
No, he kept it. He kept it raw. A lot of these cards that those older ones, that you can pull and stuff. I've searched for that stuff that I pulled. Like tried to see if I can find it. And for the longest time, since I was one of the bigger pools, it was easy to find. And then Kimmy went on that like a couple of years ago. He was just posting every day, just showing his incredible Jordan collection, Kobe. And all of a sudden, he started getting the LOGOMAN. So I'm like, I just messaged him like, hey, by any chance, do you have this card? He's like, yeah, it's coming up in in about a week, coming in. I was just like, holy crap, I found it.
So sick.
So, but his whole collection, if you guys are tracking, you need to go to his page is just crazy.
Yeah.
Like the amount. And then
what's the page?
Kimmy NG 143. When you just open it up, you're going to see a whole bunch of black label Pokemon. A lot of people don't know that blowout cards or majority of the distributors can ship to an APO address. So while I was deployed in Afghanistan, I would have stuff come from blowout. Like I literally would. And so on my off time, I work in 12-hour shifts. On my off time, I'd rip cards inside the hut in Afghanistan. While I was in Afghanistan in 2010, I pulled 3 of my top 5 cards I've ever pulled.
What?
Yes. Actually, more than that. Now that I remember. So here's a rundown. And again, these are all still, some of these videos are still on my YouTube page today. Limited logo Jordan out of 23, which funny thing is if you go on my page, you can see the interview I did with Shine. Shine has that card, the exact card. He posted that he was buying the same subset, the same limited logo set. And I messaged him like, yo, I pulled this one back in 2010. He's like, oh, this one here. And he sent it and he showed it was great. And he's like, I'm in the process of buying that right now. First, maybe that was the first one. First Fanatics Fest, I did an interview with him. Describe him like a lot of people that buy these grails, they don't know where they came from.
Of course.
How we pulled them. He actually has video proof showing where.
It's amazing.
And it was pulled in Afghanistan on top of that.
Super sick.
Also, that's when Trout's first Bowman product came out. 09 Bowman Draft. I opened probably 4 or 5 cases of that. And back then, a case of Bowman Draft was $700.
Uh-huh.
I pulled numerous base autos of Trout. And again, back then, his base
$50 box.
Back then, Trout's base autos were going for $25 a pop, raw. Pulled multiple base, couple refractors, 1 blue, and then probably one of the biggest cards and the biggest thing that happened to me, the orange 1 of 25 auto.
Oh.
And I sold, this is wild, I sold while I was deployed on eBay. No, I might have been Blowout Forums. Sold for $700.
On Blowout Forums?
Yeah. $700 I sold that raw. It eventually came back in, when the boom started happening, the Trout stuff started happening down the road.
Yeah.
During COVID, it popped up in a Facebook group saying, have you guys seen this? BGS 9510. So we graded. So on top of being in Afghanistan during a war, was literally pulled and shipped via FedEx out of Afghanistan back to this person, graded it. If I'm not mistaken, it sold around a little over $1 million during the peak.
You sold it for $700, and that
So-
card sold for $1 million 15 years later.
So,
years later.
when I see Discords, when I see Facebook groups of, hey, I sold too early stories, I'm like, here, let me just drop
There's
the mic
no
right here.
story that's sold too early more than that story.
It can't be.
It's impossible.
Also, that same year, Curry's rookie year, exquisite, pulled a Curry exquisite auto, rookie auto. And the funny thing is, when you watch the video, and I'll make sure you have it so you guys can put it in.
Amazing.
I'm like, I only got one rookie. It's this Stephon Curry, and I'm like, but look at this Danny Granger patch auto. Like, I just brushed it aside.
Danny Granger,
Right?
Pacer legend.
So
Get on the heat for a second.
The only rookie I had in here was Stephon Curry auto. It's pretty nice, out of 225. On card auto is pretty sick. Danny Granger freaking patch auto. It's pretty sick, out of 50. No, yeah, out of 50. So it's pretty nasty.
So those 3 cards there. I mean, I opened up a lot of
That's
09.
the beauty thing about sports, though. You never know who's going to be good and who's not going to be good. Like Steph Curry is a little kid from Davidson. Like, oh, this kid's not going to be good, and he's the best player ever. Like, it's same with Luka. Like, people didn't think Luka was going to be Luka. They had Kevin Knox on the cover.
Yep. Football products, of course, National Treasures and Exquisite 09. Stafford's year, hold an RPA of both of those in Afghanistan.
How crazy is it that Stafford, Curry, and Trout are all rookies this year?
It's nuts.
Legend.
It's nuts.
Well, I mean, I think you dropped a ton of knowledge on here. What would you say if there was... I want you to talk a little bit about how people can call you if they're dealing with mental health and stuff like that. I think that's a great close. I know people deal with a lot of stuff, ups and downs, especially, things you can't control. So I know you do offer a lot of help, mental health for a lot of different people. If someone's struggling, how can they reach out to you?
Yeah. So any podcast, any, interview that I do, I always end off with the same thing, right? My messages are open. It can be on Facebook. It can be on majority of the time it's Instagram, but on my Instagram channel, I have the email button open where someone can actually email me directly.
Awesome.
So the problem with messaging someone that's not following you, it goes into those requests and you might not never see.
Yeah, VC knows about that.
Yeah. However, I'm that type of person because of the messages I put out. If you need someone to talk to, I want to be there for you. I check once a day. I check all the different folders just to see if anyone's reached out. Now, of course, I do get busy during certain times. Like during the national, I didn't have time to because I was one of the official correspondents for the national. So when I finally got to it, I was bombarded with a lot of people that were there that was trying to get a hold of me, and it kind of sucks. So hit the email button, send me an email, and reach out because. Listen, my message that I give to everyone, it originally started with more of the PTSD aspect, right? With me being military background, is no matter what, someone wants to see you wake up tomorrow, right? Everyone goes through hard times. Trust me, I've gone through a lot. Twice divorced, not going to be a third time. Just letting you know that right now. Sorry, ladies. But you might be going through it, but someone else might be there too that has gone through it that can help you. Right. So, and if you don't think you can find someone to talk to, reach out to me. I'll talk to you. If you need a phone call, if you need a FaceTime, you need anything. If you're close by where I'm at the time, I'll come meet you and have a cup of coffee or something. Right.
Love goes a long way.
I'll have juice. I don't drink coffee. You have coffee, whatever. I'll buy it for you. But I just make sure that everyone knows that, you need to wake up the next day. Right. You are loved and you might not think it now, but that's where the adversity and everything comes through and you bounce back from it. And that's why I love resiliency. I'm a big resilient person and especially in this hobby, this industry, right? So many people can get, too far upside down, maybe, breaking too much or into a card too much. And all of a sudden the dip happens and stuff, right? So
Alex, dude, I really appreciate you. That was literally incredible. Guys, this is the man. Reach out to him. Unbelievable story.
Army ATC 20.
So glad that you're part of this, man.